What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today when I talked about the top 5 short squeeze stocks that you need to add to your watch list going into the rest of the week. So I'm gonna go over all the things that you need to know, but first make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. Starting off with stock number 1, not in any particular order though. Ticker is QS, so QuantumScape, sitting at 681, did go up 7.08%. Just on Wednesday alone. Over the last 1 year, it is up 39.84, and then over the last 1 month, up 75.06. I do explain this every single one of these videos, but I don't just choose the most heavily shorted stocks. I choose a good combination of some pre-existing momentum, and in many cases, shorts being overextended. I feel like that's a good recipe for either a squeeze or either the stock to really continue to appreciate, again, putting shorts in a little bit more of a sticky scenario. So this one definitely does have some good momentum. As far as seasonality, over the last 4 years, for July, it does average 25.5%. So definitely this is pretty much the best month for it all year long. This is what they do in case you are curious. So it is based out of San Jose in the States, but currently 16.71% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 70.6 million shares overall are being shorted. On Wednesday, shorts increased roughly 374,000. Cost to borrow is kind of low. So the average is 1.52. That's an annual rate, not a daily rate. So just keep that in mind. Short score is 74.51. So the higher the number, the higher the likelihood of a squeeze happening. And one thing as well I want to draw your attention to is DTC. So the higher the number, the higher the potential magnitude of a squeeze, because that does factor in how many shares are shorted versus the average volume. So again, 3.57 days is pretty significant. When it comes down to this through IBKR, does indicate 3.6 million shares is available to be shorted. Reason why I bring that up is if some stocks are limited supply, you could see some buying from big players just to kind of lend out. So that would of course add some buying pressure. Probably won't be happening with this stock with these available shares, but nonetheless, this stock is definitely one of those ones that you need to add to your watch list. Moving on to the next one, I used to cover this way back in the day, and this one was really hit because of the US-Canadian tariff type of scenario, but LQR House. And on Wednesday, it did go down 20%. So it got hit quite hard, sitting at $1.60. Over the last 1 year, it is down 95.17%. But over the last 1 month, factoring in that 20% pullback today, it is still up 23.26%. So definitely a lot of good optimism, and it looks as though on a kind of negotiation standpoint between the States and Canada, things seem to be going according to plan. So if a deal does come, this is where you'll see this stock really break out. Plus, it is heavily shorted on a side note. Hasn't really been trading that long, so it doesn't show any seasonality, but this is the company profile. So it is based out of Miami Beach in Florida. Advertising is the industry for employees, but currently 19.5% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 204,000 shares. So this is exactly what the market likes to squeeze. Heavily shorted, low float. So it does meet that criteria. Cost to borrow is 47.85. You can see from this green line, sorry for all the kind of close colors, but green line shorts have really doubled down recently ever since it looks as though beginning of June. So again, something to kind of keep in mind, the fact that shorts are rather overextended. Short score is 79.03, and then through IBKR, it doesn't look like it's showing any available shares right now. So again, something to keep in mind. So this is the second stock bringing up, definitely a very volatile one, but if things go according to plan, or even if there's continued momentum in the broad market, this is another one to kind of keep in mind. Moving on to the next one, ticker is CYN, sitting at 1423, did go up 11.17% on Wednesday. Has not been trading for 5 years, but over the last 1 year, it is down 98.15%. So definitely not doing all that great. There's a lot of good information here in case you are curious. So the market cap, volume, and so forth. But over the last 1 month, it is up 185%. So definitely has a lot of good momentum there. Seasonality, looks like July for the last 3 years, it does average 16.5% in the red. So it doesn't seem to be a good month for it, but of course we're here for either a squeeze or the continued momentum behind the scenes. This is what they do. So application software, 58 employees, founded in 2013, based out of California in the States. But 21% of the free floats being shorted, works to be 334,000 shares overall are being shorted. Again, what the market likes to squeeze, so heavily shorted, low float. Cost to borrow average is 390.98, max is 400.24, short score is 81.02, and then through IBKR does indicate 150,000 shares is available to be shorted. So this stock definitely could be seeing some buying, as BlackRock, Vanguard would love to take advantage of that very juicy cost to borrow. So even through IBKR, it is 331.97%. So this one is another one to really add to your watch list. And plus, like I said, it does have some already very good momentum. So something to keep in mind. Moving on to the fourth one, you have NFE, so New Fortress Energy, sitting at 385, did go up 6.06 on Wednesday. Over the last 1 year though, it is down 80.73, but over the last 1 month, definitely gaining some good momentum, up 57.46. Seasonality, July over the last 5 years does average 13.4, and to be fully fair, it looks as though for the rest of the year, on average over the last 5 years, every month seems to be green. Again, that's if you want to do some additional due diligence and whatever else. But this is the company profile based out of New York in the States. But 43.65% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 51.67 million shares overall being shorted. Cost to borrow average is 12.41. Shorts recently have been doubling down. So since kind of mid-March was a low of 20%. So shorts have been really doubling down quite significantly. And in fact, it actually looks like it is at the all-time high short interest numbers. DTC 4.19, short score 81.49, and then through IBKR does indicate a measly 500 shares is available to be shorted. So definitely you should see some buying in the next couple trading days, as big money will be buying it just to lend out. Again, further adding some good buying pressure. And then last but not least, moving on to the fifth one, again, not in any particular order, ticker is ULY. I recently did listen to their fireside chat. I believe it was Sidoti, and they did actually a couple other fireside chats. Very interesting company. Of course, over the last 1 year, it's not really, things aren't going according to plan. It is down 63.6%, sitting at 743. Over the last 1 month though, up 38.79. So again, meets my criteria that it's gaining some pretty good momentum behind the scenes. It's not really been trading that long, so seasonality isn't a thing for this one, but this is the company profile. So application software, 333 employees, founded in 2013, based out of Vienna in the States. But right now, 14.98% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 155,000 shares overall being shorted. Cost to borrow average is definitely up there, 562. Again, I know I mentioned this already, but it is a annual rate, not a daily rate. Short score is 80.27, so fairly high for that. Shorts did recently have a crazy spike to, it looks as though, around 30% short interest. They've been returning a little bit, which again has been really pushing the stock price even higher as a byproduct of that. But things could get even more interesting, of course. But through IBKR, it does indicate 800 shares is available to be shorted. And since June the 25th, for the most part, on and off, there's been very, very limited supply. And even through IBKR, it's sitting at 534.21%. So you should be seeing over the next little bit big money buy this stock. So let me know your thoughts on these 5 stocks. I think going forward, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going over, I guess, analyzing my previous video, because every single time I pretty much bring up 5 different stocks that meet my criteria. So I'm going to go over my results, because I know sometimes I mention, yeah, things go according to plan, but I want to show you exactly how these do turn out. Of course, not all of them have squeezes or whatever else, but I think a good likelihood, this is why adding all these to your watch list should turn out fairly a-okay. So let me know your thoughts. Is there any other squeeze plays that you feel could really move higher? And if so, drop some tickers in the description below. One final thing, if you are looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, pop over to my Patreon and give buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, and everything that you ever need in life. So definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.